Hey everyone! Welcome back to another Let's Make an Art. Today I kind of freestyled turning myself into a Viking warrior, so let's get right into it because I had a blast and I can't wait to show you what I did. All right, so I jumped right into this concept by just sort of flopping down some colors and blocking a bunch of stuff in. So I had a pretty solid mental image going on here. I'm going to do a series of videos that kind of break down how you can get inspiration from the real world, how studies can turn into observations, and observations can in turn into being able to do stuff like this, which, mind you, the anatomy here isn't perfect. I'm just blocking stuff in. You will see me move stuff around and make some adjustments and changes as I go. One of the big ones is, as of right now, you might not notice it, but the color palette I'm using is incredibly cool toned. And that's something to keep note of because that's going to change partway through this project because I decided I wanted it to feel a little warmer. I feel like for some reason, cooler tone palettes feel a little more modern and almost a little more magical depending on how you use them. But in this case, I wanted it to feel very real. Hands are a struggle for me. Not really. I mean, they're a struggle for all artists. In this case, I was mostly just kind of blocking it in. Thankfully, I'm able to like hold my own hand up and look at it in the right pose and position. The boots are, look, so for the clothes here, I wanted it to look like leather from the same animal that had been treated or like processed differently. So as I go, what I'm trying to do is basically make it to where her outfit is clearly made of like a more suede, softened leather. And oh, there it was. I just adjusted the body proportions a little bit. I was using the liquify tool, which is my favorite thing that Clip Studio has added. And they've recently updated it to the point where I can use the liquify tool on a layer group and it will affect all of the layers in that layer group instead of just like the one I have selected if I only have one selected. So that's fun, and it makes it to where if I do work on multiple layers, which with this one, I did end up merging it down quite a bit and then adding more layers on top. There's a couple of reasons for that. It keeps me from getting overwhelmed and forgetting which layer things are on. It also makes it easier for me to work on it on my Slate tablet, which is like a little like Android version of an iPad that Huion released. I love using it, but it gets a little laggy when you've got a lot of layers with a lot of detail on it. So because I do like to go back and forth, I sometimes get in the habit of merging layers down. And when I'm working on very detail heavy stuff like this, that takes a lot of time. I'm obviously rendering in stages. That's usually what I do to kind of make up for that, is like I'll render on the skin for a long time, try to get most of that as close to good as possible, especially up to where it like meets fabrics and other things. So like where the top would meet the hair, where the top meets the skin, where the pant like skirt meets the skin, all of those places are places I'm going to want to render from like furthest away forward, meaning like the skin first and then the clothes and then the hair, and then like I start adding accessories. So like right now she doesn't have her weapon or her axe. I got tired of looking at the background. I'm a big fan of textures. I started working in traditional mediums first. That's something a lot of people already know by now, but I'm going to keep saying it. I am a classically trained artist who likes paint and pencils and things like that. So I think that's another reason why I really like working on one layer with tools and brush settings that allow for a level of blending depending on pressure. Those are some things that I really enjoy about digital art, especially now that we can adjust pen pressure, adjust textures. There I am making the leather. So like so like I was saying, for the clothes and stuff, I wanted it to feel like a softer, more suede, like more of a fabric feel leather that's a little bit thinner, a little more designed for comfort and flowing, like movability. And then for like the boots, I wanted it to look like more structured, thicker leather that's potentially been like oiled and treated a little bit differently. So it's gonna have a little bit of a darker, warmer tone to it, a little richer, rather than like the softer suede. This is where I start giving her her little belts, which I do also want to kind of look like a hardened, treated leather. But I think that, oh, there it was. I warmed it up. So this is where I start working on the belt buckle. Obviously, I drew it flat, and then I kind of perspective warped it into the right spot, and then added some more shading and highlight and rendering and stuff. Obviously, like the first bit was just like a sketch. I do this as well with the designs on the hammer that she doesn't have yet. That is something that I probably should have blocked in earlier, but I didn't want to risk forgetting and merging it and then having handle and hammer blending in with the hair and hand. So I did, and when I did add it, I did keep it on its own layer for a while, a good long while, because I was just so afraid that they would like bleed into each other. It's one thing for like clothes and stuff. Oh, here we go, blocking in the hammer. God, I got lucky that I was, because of the way her head's turned, you can't tell if it hits her fucking shoulder wrong or stupid. I got lucky there. It made it to where it hit enough of the hammer that the perspective didn't have to be perfect. It's still probably off. I've put a little Izzy drill on the hammer there. Her belt buckle's still on a separate layer. Did a little bit of rendering on the hammer by itself, just sort of trying to get the design to blend into the perspective a little bit more, make it look like it's more imprinted or was carved or designed into it rather than it's just sort of stuck on top of it. That was a bit of a struggle. I fiddled with that for quite some time. I believe at this point, the tree itself is on a separate layer, like an overlay layer. So it's like pretty much just white and black, or like light gray and black, just to kind of add depth around it and then make it feel raised up. At some point I do merge it down onto the rest of the hammer so that it's easier to blend stuff, but I don't think I do that for a while. Putting her back, or putting me back, so that I don't spend too much time, because I was afraid I'd get focused on where like the handle meets the hammer, and you can't see that, so why would I need to mess with that? So I, turn that layer back on. Now I believe this is where I start messing with the face and skin more. The problem about not recording these in real time. This particular project, though, took several hours over the course of several days to complete, so it would have been unrealistic for me to try to record my real-time thoughts. I'm trying to figure out what's moving right now. That's weird. I'm like with you guys, like, what is she changing? What's happening? The time-lapse export from Clip Studio with this was literally like, it's literally 13 minutes long by itself. I didn't speed it up more. I didn't slow it down. Like sometimes I'll slow them down a little bit just so I have a little bit more to talk with, make the video a little longer. But in this case, nope, that wasn't an issue. I was definitely working on the face. I did a lot of liquefy adjustments to the face proportions because the angle and stuff. Finally gave her pupils. Man, this piece took me a long time comparatively. I know I've gotten pretty good at working fast on some stuff, but just the way I was playing with different textures while also somehow not over-rendering, but like I was fixating on the render. I needed it to look good. I needed it to, look good, but also feel human. I don't know. I wanted it to not be perfect, yet somehow still look perfect, because I'm a crazy person who likes to challenge herself far more than necessary. The braids are getting a lot easier for me to draw since I've started wearing my hair in braids almost exclusively. It's just an easy thing to do when it's hot outside, and because I haven't cut my hair in what feels like ages at this point, it's just the most practical thing. So not only have I just been exclusively wearing my hair in braids and staring at it constantly, but it's become like a fixture for me mentally. Now they're fun to draw. You get to draw the little like poofy shapes pushing into each other. I don't know. If you're an artist and you want something fun to practice because you're learning new hairstyles, I recommend practicing braids. You can simplify them to the point where they're just little shapes, right? Another thing you can do to practice learning how to do braids is like looking for little tutorials or exercise that are supposed to look like knitted fabric, because if you look at the way a braid is structured, it's the same way that like when you look down at like knitted fabric or even crochet, if it's turned the right way, the yarn and thread move very similarly to the way that the hair does in a braid. So it's just something like, if say you're a guy and you want to draw braided hair, but you want a physical visual thing in front of you to look at, but you don't have hair to braid, you don't have a girlfriend handy or a wife handy, either at work or somewhere else, I don't know, whatever the case may be, you find something knitted nearby. Even like regular fabric, if you look really close, it's got like little knitted fibers. That's just me rambling nonsense, but maybe it'll help somebody. I like helping people with art. This point, it's actually starting to look like a whole thing. I believe right now I am, putting the strapping detail on the handle of the hammer, making it look like it's wrapped in leather. At some point there, I get distracted by the fingernails and the fact that I didn't finish those, which is what I think I'm doing right now. Yeah, I'm fixing the fingers. So I was looking at them, and then now I'm putting the pommel on the hammer, which I also put a fun little design on, but I think I was able to like freehand that one on it. Yeah, I freehanded it. Neat, go me. Making it a little shinier. I figured the handle for the hammer might be a little shinier than the dinged up hammer part itself, that I didn't actually give any dings to, but I figured, it's just worn. I don't know. I was trying to play with the idea of using different textures, trying to somehow find a balance between like a messy, painterly art style that still looks refined. You know what I mean? Like, it's messy in places that are supposed to be messy. I will do a nice little zoom in on the final product at the end, and you guys will see what I mean. I know zoomed out like this, you can't see it, but I am using all manner of wacky textured brushes. I believe the brush pack that I used a lot is called like the Messy Brush Pack. It's available in the Eclipse Studio asset catalog, I think is what it's called. Either way, if you have Clip Studio, you can go into the little catalog where the assets are, and I can't remember if it was free or if it cost Clippy points, but I haven't spent like real money on brushes in the recent history, so it's not going to be something that's going to break the bank. Adding more highlights and shadows, because you never want to underestimate the contrast of the darks. You're going to have a few spots that are just almost black, and it really adds the depth. So I really wanted to make like the braid edges pop. I wanted the fabric to stand out off the skin really well. And a combination of adding darker and darker low lights in the right places and lighter highlights in the right places can really, really sell the three-dimensionality of things. That was a fun word to say. Oh, yeah. Adding aggressive highlights and then like blending them out is kind of satisfying. It really does kind of add some glossiness to it. Did I just hit my glasses on the microphone? Jeebus. I don't know. I'm having a day. I hope you guys like this video, because I've just sort of been talking. Love hatching out a fun, like, messy background for it, because I was not about to do a whole landscape. I love that hatch pen. I love it so much. Adding a cool, fun border to her. This is actually a fun trick. If I've been really painterly with everything and I didn't like line it, I will use the white outline thing in Clip Studio to see where there's marks on the page that I might not see because of their transparency. Fun little cleanup tip. That's the piece. Here's the zoom in. These are all of the fun little texture brushes you can still see. I used that rake brush a lot in the hair because it was really fun. I think it's called Lines or Hash Bashing brush in the set that I found. I really enjoyed this piece. I had fun with it. I tried not to overthink it, tried not to be too perfect with it, and I still think it came out looking really refined. I was able to focus on like my skill set, lights and shadows, colors. I didn't get bogged down by trying to make perfect line work, which is what I think I struggle with the most, is getting a sketch good and liking it, and then trying to go back in and ink it and put lines down and getting fixated on like, well, should they be perfect? And should they be super clean and crisp and all of that? So I didn't focus on any of that for this. And I think that not stressing myself out definitely yields the best results. So let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment for sure, because that'll tell the algorithm that you like me and I'm neat. Tell your friends, follow me on the socials, watch my live art and karaoke streams on Thursday nights. And until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.